What is going on, guys? It is Lady 2SXE and this is my thoughts on FIFA 15. I'll start off with what I think is the best thing about FIFA 15, which is the presentation. I'll leave you with this example, then I'll come back with a few other positives and a few negatives which basically made me get rid of the game in less than a week. So I'll be back very shortly.
Well, we've got Barclays Premier League action for you. I'm Martin Tyler and with me is Alan Smith.
Yeah, hi Martin, great to be here.
Daniel Sturridge. Well, no wonder we're picking him out at the start because he's been in terrific form. What a player.
Oh yeah, he has been in a terrific kind of form, and you'd expect that to continue here.
This is the Liverpool side. Simon Mignolet starts in goal. Alberto Moreno starts with Glenn Johnson as the fullbacks. In attack, Daniel Sturridge starts. He scored a hat-trick in the last game.
So as I was saying, the best thing about FIFA 15 is the presentation, which for me is a bit of a bad thing because that means FIFA has fallen short in other areas. And when I say other areas, I'm talking about the actual game modes and the gameplay, because for me it hasn't took a big enough step from FIFA 14, which doesn't mean it's a bad game, it just means it hasn't gone far enough from where I thought it would have gone, because I was expecting a big push saying that it's a second game on the next gen consoles. But for now, I'll actually move on to what I've always had an admiration for in football, well, EA's football games, which is the ball physics. That's always been the most impressive thing for me now, and that hasn't changed because the ball physics, are pretty much spot on for me. The ball always reacts the way I would expect it to react in real life, and that's one thing EA have always nailed on, and that's not something that has fallen short in this game. So now I'll move on to another thing which I think has been good for the last few years in FIFA games, which is the shooting. Now, trust me guys, if you FIFA fans are thinking no, it's not good enough, trust me, this has come from PES player. Your ball physics and your shooting is fine, your shots, have that zip behind them a lot of the time, and then if you mishit it, you can feel like you've really mishit it. Sometimes, I've always thought in the past that, well, not always, but sometimes in the past I've thought that, the shooting is a bit too accurate, it doesn't have enough error in it, but, it's starting to come now. I think FIFA 14 introduced quite a bit of error in it, and FIFA 15 is, taking it to a more realistic error approach. So, there is error in the shots and it's a bit more realistic than what it has been in the past. So I think your shooting and your ball physics are fine. The problem with me in your gameplay is the passing. I feel it's way too sluggish for me. Even if I put enough power in the pass, it just doesn't feel like it's putting in the amount of power that I am asking for it from the players. And sometimes when I put in a lot of power, it seems to go to another player at less speed, and I'm thinking that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted is, a zipped in pass to someone that might be only 10 yards away, but I wanted it to be zipped for a reason, and that's because there might be a player that's in between there that's contemplating the interception. But if I put enough power in there, he won't get it. That's what I want to do, but I don't feel like I can do that enough in FIFA, and it doesn't feel like I can play the fast football that I want. So that's one thing that I think lets the gameplay down. And as you can see, Sterling with a bit of a levitation in his celebration. But yeah, as I was saying, another thing which I feel lets the gameplay down is the attacking tools you have in this game are way too strong for the defensive tools you have in this game. So that creates an imbalance for me. I think you just have way too much attacking power compared to what you can actually do in a defensive manner. And that starts to make goal scoring less rewarding, and that's something PES had a problem with on the PS3 series, and PES 2015 I feel has recaptured that, and FIFA 15 is starting to lose that. So that is something EA are going to have to address very soon, because the moment you start losing the rewarding feeling for actually scoring a goal, that's when you start to get in trouble. That isn't the biggest reason why goal scoring doesn't feel rewarding though. I will talk about that in a moment, but I also want to say before I go into the next topic is the dribbling in this game does feel better than it probably ever has before. It does feel a bit more responsive. Comparing it to PES 2015 dribbling from the demo, it doesn't feel as tight and maybe as responsive as PES 2015, but it's good enough as it stands at the moment, and I like the way it actually that has an effect when you're playing in the rain. That dribbling does feel a bit more sluggish, which is probably what you expect in real life. Well, maybe not sluggish, but it does feel a bit more heavy. That's probably the word I'm looking for. It does feel a bit heavier, and that actually reflects when the game is being played in the rain. So now I'm going to go into the two things which let this game down the most. The first one being the AI. So whether it's the AI that's on your team or the AI you're up against, they just don't do enough for me, both in the attacking nature or defensively. So when they're on your team, I feel like I'm making the computer do too many trigger runs, so I have to basically trigger their runs way too often. And defensively, they don't even track back well enough. They will watch players run straight across them and then decide to track back when it's way too late, and basically a goal is almost made up out of nothing sometimes, just purely because the AI is way delayed when it comes to being defensively aware. Now what you're seeing here is something with the goalkeeping, which is the second thing which is massively letting the game down. But another thing I was going to say about the AI before I move on to the goalkeeping is that when you're playing up against them, they all play the same way, which gets repetitive, gets really boring, and it washes out the game because it doesn't have that realistic feeling with it. Because whether you're playing Stoke or whether you're playing Man City, they all seem to play the same way against me anyway. So now I'll move on to the biggest problem in FIFA 15, which is the goalkeeping. And this is something that used to happen in PES 15 a lot. The goalkeepers basically dive out the way to give the attacker almost an empty net. And this happened in PES 14 and 13 a lot. And I made videos, and if I can find them, I'll put them descriptions in the link. But that is something that happened a lot. And people might think this is a instinctive dive from Szczesny, sorry. And if it was, he would actually be reacting to the shots as soon as Barkley lifts his leg backwards, because that's when he starts to be instinctive or taking a guess. That long shot there, the goalkeeper actually, when it comes to decision making, I don't know why he went low for a shot that was rising from 30 yards and he dived low. It just seems like such bad decision making, and that's what the goalkeepers do a lot. And talking of decision making, the referees are just as bad. Never have I seen in FIFA anyway, in PES they've been shocking for quite a few years, but the referees have never been this bad. And now they're starting to not just basically overreact on fouls, but they're starting to give daft fouls away as well. So there, I don't even know how penalty got given there. But as I was saying, the goalkeeping is a really bad problem. You saw a bunch of clips before where they're just parrying everything into the 6-yard box, and the worst thing is that the goalkeeping is the biggest thing which makes the goal scoring in this game feel less rewarding. And that's where I said, once the game starts feeling less rewarding, that's when you're in a bit of trouble. So before I give this game a mark out of 10, let me just show you the most anticlimax I ever felt. That moment right there, what you just saw the goalkeeper do. We put the ball into the box last minute. I thought, go make yourself a hero, goalkeeper. I thought, okay, he hasn't won the first header. As he's running back, the ball's dropped to him. I thought, go on, keeper, make yourself a hero, do something useful. And before I had a chance to press the button, he kicked it out like he's clearing his own goal. I thought, what the fuck? It was that frustrating that it was funny. I don't know how to describe it, but now it's time to give this game a mark out of 10, and for presentation I have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's the best thing we've ever seen in a football game when it comes to presentation, from before kickoff to right till the final whistle is blown. It is brilliant in that sense. Now the gameplay is what is really important for me, and it hasn't took a big enough step for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of FIFA 14, so I'd give the gameplay a 7.5, and my overall mark would probably be 8.2, because for me, I can't ignore the presentation because it's that good, but gameplay is so important for me. So I'll give this game a 8.2 out of 10. Now if you're wondering why I'm showing this clip over and over again, if you haven't clicked on yet, you'll notice that I've actually let in the 90th minute winner. So my mate just won the match against me with the basically last kick of the game, and somehow EA have managed to give me the win. I don't know how, but I just had to show you guys this. I thought, what the fuck has just happened here? How they've managed to do that, I don't know. Now if you're wondering why I haven't actually reviewed any game modes, it's probably because all the game modes have been the same for the last 3 years, and basically you lot have got a good grasp on what the game modes are like. So you guys let me know what you think of FIFA 15 in the comment section. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.